So the Frankenforge Galvanis is kind of this. This I call this the Galvanish. I think some people call it Chungus or whatever the fuck. I don't know. But essentially, this was made with allegedly scrap handles and scrap blade. And the reason why it looks so weirdly rounded is because Blocks had it before me, and they made it a true trainer by completely milling out all edges. They do this with some knives, and then they sell the knives, and then the tips of the knives look a little butter knifey. That said, though, while it's not like super sharp, it is still a live blade, and I botched the parabolic. Anyways, so what do I have to say about the Frankenforge Galvanis? Take everything I say with a grain of salt because this is not like a true Galvanis. But I don't really have anything negative to say, so regardless, though, take it with a grain of salt. The first thing is that the Galvanis is an aluminum handle with, blade S35VN. This is number 14 apparently, but this is also a scrap blade. It's got a nice hollow grind up here. This is the American Tanto. They also have a Japanese Tanto and a Kukri. And the handles, the Galvanis, there's also different kinds. Like some of them are like, this one might be like the chamfered handles, where they have like these sorts of really rounded sides, and it has like this sort of deep groove here. There's jimping on both sides. It's better than some. Oh, also on the backs, there's a texture. Let's see if you can see it. Come on, focus. There it is. There's a little bit of a texture, which is nice. So, one of the biggest things of note for the Frankenforge plates is the huge thigh gap. This is actually really cool, and I'm a fan of it. They have like this really short and wide Zen nipple, and that means that you never get pinching. It's also like real fucking clacky. The Galvanis so everybody talks about machine-wise having like interchangeable blades, and they also just announced that the Prisma Pro is having its own new blade, which I'm not too crazy about how it looks, but like shoutouts to everyone being real happy about it. It's also relatively affordable for a live blade. It's like $250. That's on par with the Kraken. And honestly, the Prisma Pro is maybe better than the Kraken. Hard to say. That's the 7075 one. I haven't flipped it. I've only flipped the 6061. The Galvanis, Frankenforge knives, and Black Balisong knives seem to also have interchangeable blades. I haven't tried it yet, but like you can have Reaper blades with Robola. You can have Reaper handles with Robola blade and vice versa, and the Depurge blade. And the Galvanis is on the Volt platform. There's the Voltaic, which is around 450 to 500, I believe, for a titanium Balisong with, I would say, relatively similar design with these handles. They also released a new aluminum Balisong called the Amp. How the Amp and the Galvanis are different, I'm not sure. Obviously, they look a little different, but like, do they flip different? I'm not sure. They all have the distinctly wide gap, and the Galvanis and the Amp are about $300 new. Is it worth that? That's a little hard to say. It is. It's definitely a little pricier for an aluminum Balisong. I got this like scrap Galvanis for like $100, and that's worth it. Like this for 100 is like fuck yeah. This for 300, harder to say. I love the Icarus. I think the Icarus is super unique and cool, and there's nothing quite like it. It's also one of my longest Balisongs. It actually might be the longest ones, despite also having a Carlo and a Zizix and a Seigaiha, and yeah, I got some long girls. But yeah, I will say it's good. This is definitely good. If you can get one used for under 300, maybe. It's got a really incredible clack to it. Decent grip. It's just a really solid aluminum Balisong. But when you have competition like the Prisma Pro, which is, well, the live blade is about $250 now, but there is the trainer for sub 200. The Prisma V2, the 6061 one, that's usually like 170-ish. Like those are really fucking good and affordable. Now, like if you care about live blades, the Kraken, the Sirius, the Koenig, the what am I forgetting? The Kraken, Sirius, Koenig, and the Prisma Pro now all have live blades, all under $300. So just by like the virtue of the pricing, it's harder to justify that in this market, especially where all these people fucking hate aluminum. And but like it sounds fucking amazing. I guess also the Tally Z like retails for 300, but on the secondhand market they're usually 150. It's like hard to sell a Tally Z for over that unless it's a different color. If it's a special one that's not like Splatter Anno or Cerakote or the champagne color one, like you may be able to get away with it, but they're still not necessarily selling. They're just priced higher. Yeah, I guess that's all I really have to say about the Galvanis. I probably wouldn't get a real one. Like sometimes I'm like, do I want to keep this? I'm like, yeah, this is super fun. It's really neutral. Actually, it might be like slightly blade heavy, like just very slightly blade heavy. But not in a way like not compared to the Hybel Menace. It's certainly a lot. It feels neutral, flips well. Really nice for aerials too. With my shitty aerial game, rolls over pretty predictably. There's not like a ton of ass weight. It's a channel aluminum. There's no like weights in here. There's no milling besides like a sort of face milling here with some chunks taken out. There's no speed channel, so there's not like a ton of ass weight. But hey, that's fine. Like I like you can get the Prisma Pro with screws in, but when I flipped it, it's like I preferred that with no screws in. This is also like not the longest Balisong either. Like the Prisma Pro is like certainly one of the longer ones. But yeah, this is good knife. Good knife. And you can certainly get it sharp. And I think if you can get it for under 300, it's worth considering. But for new Balisongs, it's a lot harder to justify. I love the Koenig. I love the Sirius. The Sirius is about $240 brand new. The Koenig's about, I think, roughly the same price. Like the Koenig, the Sirius, and the Kraken are all around $240 brand new. And you can usually find a Kraken, like a live Kraken, for like sub 200 on the secondhand market. Especially like it has to be not the V3. And if you care about trainers, Prisma Pro is about 170. The Kanto Origin is about 275, and there was another trainer I had in mind, the Jigsaw. Well, actually, the Jigsaw price might be changing. It's not for sale currently, so we'll have to see about the Jigsaw. But that's also like a weird Balisong. So yeah, that is about now for sure all I have to say about the Galvanis. It's got a cool Frankenstein logo that I inked using the green ink pens, and then S35VN number 14. Yeah, sorry, didn't focus. If you like these videos, check out my coffee in the description. A little bit goes a long way. It helps me keep the channel alive. I do daily uploads. Subscribe for more because, yeah, I have a lot to say about a lot of things. And I don't know, some people think it's helpful, and I like hearing feedback. So if you got any feedback, if you got anything to say, if you feel like the different versions of the Galvanis are, because there's actually quite a few different blades, different handles. It's kind of interesting because they're all still the Galvanis. But if you have any thoughts about those, let me know, because I've only flipped this one, and I don't really plan on getting another one because I don't know, they're similar enough. So take care, happy flipping, have a good one.